50 Cent is revealing he's got way more Diddy footage. Whoo! Sean Combs' nightmare reckoning is not stopping anytime soon. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson's Netflix documentary, Sean Combs, The Reckoning, has been #1 on the charts next to Stranger Things. It's blown up over the this holiday month, and 50 Cent's out there doing a full-on press tour to talk about it, as he should, because look, as he says here, this is a story not a lot of people wanted to tell. I want to put in some of these quotes that he's talking about. I'm not doing this as some sort of personal mission, he says. He feels a responsibility to be vocal as he's in a unique position because he's not scared of retaliation. Obviously, the dude's been shot how many times? I'm telling a story no one else is telling because I don't have the fear that others feel towards him. I'm not afraid at all. Now, the director, Stapleton, admits she does have concerns. You just never know what might happen. I definitely have fears, the director tells Us Weekly, adding that her hopes is that when people finish watching, they can have a conversation about what we put up with and what we condone. Now, obviously, Combs's lawyers say, they don't agree with this. It's all fake. The footage was stolen, yada, yada, yada. But 50 Cent's clearly not scared. He's like, yeah, well, I got even more. Now, there was a part where they asked, when was the last time you spoke to Diddy? And he revealed, 50 Cent said, I haven't spoken to him since he went through the case. I had communication with his son. There was a point when they were interested in being part of the doc because they wanted to show their perspective. They were concerned about how things would be portrayed. Interesting. Another question that was asked, Combs was found not guilty of the stronger charges of trafficking and racketeering. What do you think of the split verdict? 50 Cent responded about Combs. That was luck. He beat the case, but people don't understand why he was crying on a chair, right? His finances are dwindling. He should have filed for bankruptcy. He thought he was coming home. His attorneys are bad people. They convinced him he was going to come home when he went to court. He had absolutely booked public speaking engagements, 100 million percent, 100% million. And that might be why Diddy has sort of was out there filming and doing things he was doing, and now he's getting caught. And now his lawyers, who literally were there for the money more than anything else, and to win for their own personal gain. I don't believe any of these lawyers are friends with Sean Combs. I'm sure after everything they learned about him, they probably despise him in a way, right? And so Harvey Levin is slamming Diddy. Harvey Levin, it takes a lot when Harvey Levin has to come out and slam someone for allegedly betraying his lawyer. I want you to see this clip because he's pretty spot on here. It just shows you what kind of person Diddy is. So while his lawyers may be slimy, Diddy's way slimier.
Boy, Diddy really screwed over Mark Agnifilo. I gotta say, this is awful that Diddy owes his life to Mark Agnifilo, literally his life, because he could have gotten life in prison were it not for Mark Agnifilo, his defense lawyer, who had a brilliant strategy. And Diddy screwed him over when he hired this videographer to chronicle his life without telling Mark Agnifilo that when Diddy and Mark were on the phone, this videographer was recording what Mark clearly expected to be an attorney-client privileged relationship.
And to add to what Harvey's saying, this is so good for 50 because now all this talk about these tapes and should he have them and should he not? It sounds like, yes, they got them legally. Diddy's got no shot at it, but it only added more interest. So now even more people are watching this story that they probably otherwise maybe would have skipped because it would have just been a recap of what we knew. Seeing the Diddy footage, seeing him and his hubris makes it far more engrossing to watch.
Now, it is true that the client holds that privilege. The lawyer doesn't. But Mark's clear expectation was that this was a private conversation. These were private conversations, and that he and Diddy could talk openly. And Mark could talk to Diddy not just as a client, but as a person.
That's key, right? Because the lawyer needs to have that privilege as well, so he can speak candidly, speak honestly. Not anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. That's what they say, right? So you except for when you're talking to your lawyer, that's when it's safe to have real conversations. and a lawyer should have that right. And did he forego that right? Look at this. He's going to continue here. One more part I want to get to that's, I think, incredibly important. It wasn't just an accident that this jury had heard all this in the news before the trial and voted not guilty on all the serious charges. Here, I'm just refreshing to 144. I want to get to this section.
Niffolo is on. And the really enraging part about it is that Mark Agnifilo won this case for Diddy with legal strategy. It wasn't just an accident that this jury that had heard all of this in the news before the trial voted not guilty on all the serious charges. It was Mark Agnifilo that did that. Yet Diddy secretly records this guy and embarrasses him.
I mean, I'm a little shocked that this is what made you so upset about Diddy, Harvey Levin, not all the allegations, not all the other crap that Diddy has done. This is the line for Harvey Levin. Well, yeah, because he's a former lawyer and what have you, but I'd love to see this kind of energy against, what he did to the victims. I'd love to see this kind of energy against Blake Lively. A lot of these people in Hollywood are horrible, awful people. And it's just the irony of him, that this is when he loses it, guys. Anyway, now, where's 50 Cent going to release this footage? Well, he's teasing it. Here's a clip from the Sherry Shepherd Show.
We congratulate you on your docuseries, Sean Combs, The Reckoning. It's #1 on Netflix. Yeah. Like, it's been #1 on Netflix. Did you actually expect it to be as big as it got?
I expected it to be bigger. It's actually exceeding my expectations now.
Wow.
Stranger Things is a huge show, and it's...
Yeah, I think you should start a private investigation firm. I'll be your...
It's tying up with Stranger Things. In fact, the ratings here that came in. I mean, Stranger Things first episodes debut put up a massive 25.2 million. Stranger Things itself, and then it's a lot of here as they're adding it all up. Still, you got to remember, put season 5 at 84.8 million views since its launch. That's a lot. That's a huge amount. But Diddy's show racked in 21.8, which is massive as well. That's a huge bump for all 4 series. So those 2 shows are on top of Netflix right now, which is all that. But Sherry gets a little bit more into he should do more of these shows.
50 find out everything.
50 find out everything. I'd watch that show, to be honest.
Now, because this is a lot of the personal footage of Diddy. It shocked a lot of people. And I know, 50, the way you run, this cannot be all that you have. Is there other stuff that you just have not shown?
Yeah, well, everything couldn't make it was 4 episodes.
Right.
So it was a lot. You had to pick and choose things, like even in an area where he chooses to date people who he knows previously dated someone. He has a baby by a woman that was dating Tupac.
Wow.
To add to it, but we had to cut it down so we couldn't.
For time.
Yeah.
So are you coming out? I know next year is going to be a #2, season 2.
I just put it on YouTube.
I just put it on YouTube. Well, we can subscribe and get it. I love it. And
she does also an interesting ask. She asks, like, is there another person you want to make a series about? And he does kind of pull out, like, I don't want to get into that kind of business. This was just a one and done important case that he knew he could add some. But to wrap up this angle, now Diddy and family are launching a $1 billion lawsuit, preparing the biggest defamation case in history. I'd maybe back down on that. I think, because in doing so, they're gonna have to prove that everything was said was untrue, and they're gonna have to go through even more than you've already gone through. Maybe that's part of it, where they're like, well, sure, we've already given it all to the feds, but did you give it? I don't know. You really want to open yourself up again? And what are you gonna win out of this? Give me a break. Oh, it was all lies. Diddy didn't do that to Cassie. Diddy isn't a monster. Oh, come on. He's proving every day in prison. He's getting delayed for, I promise, Your Honor, I'll be better. Diddy sucks. Diddy sucks. Serve your time, Diddy. And then I guess you're allowed back in per the rules. And it is what it is. And some people will still support, but this idea that he's now going to win, nonsense. And I believe 50 Cent. I think he's really struggling financially. That was not cheap. He's got a lot of money, to be fair, but there's no new money coming in. And he's going to have a tough time paying for all this. He can't just keep doing it forever. And interesting how 50 Cent said it. He thought he was going home. And instead, he's paying the lawyers even more to keep fighting the appeal. You go through, I need this, I need that, I need that. This is a never-ending money suck. And sure, he's got a lot of money. I'm sure he still has money. The lifestyle that this family lives without more money coming in, he's going to start feeling it. And that's going to be the real punishment, guys. Stay tuned. And I think could also send him back to do even more horrible, despicable things. So we'll keep your eyes on Diddy. We'll tell you what's going on and make sure you're looped in. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for alerts. Smash that thumbs up as well and leave your comments. What do you think? Where do you want 50 to post more footage? Do you want a volume 2, more episodes, or do you want it just on YouTube? Either way, we'll keep you posted. Stay tuned for more. And we'll be live later today here on Popcorn Planet.